Hello friends, it's me, Shin, and today I'm coming to you from the world famous Gold and Silver Pawn Shop right next door to Rollin Smoke Barbeque. Really happy to have you along. I'll see you inside. All right everyone, and here we are seated at Rollin Smoke Barbeque. They have several locations here in Las Vegas, and this is easily the most popular barbecue restaurant in the Valley. Now their flagship location is next to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, made famous by the History Channel show, Pawn Stars. Now from my understanding, Rollin Smoke Barbeque was started by a gentleman from Arkansas, and after a couple of years of success, he partnered with Rick from the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop to open this brick and mortar location. Now I've made a lot of barbecue videos here in Las Vegas, and every time I see the comment that Rollin Smoke has the best beef ribs in the Valley. And so I'm finally getting to try it today, and I'm really looking forward to this. They have an all-you-can-eat deal. It's $50 flat. You get an hour, anything in the restaurant goes, although you only get access to 2 beef ribs. You have to eat indoors inside the restaurant, which is quite quaint. Bar top seating only, and not many seats at that. However, if you order a la carte, there's plenty of seating outdoors as well as Rick's Tavern upstairs. I'll give you a moment here to take a look at the menu and see what they have, but all of your favorites are here. Barbecue brisket, hot links, beef ribs, pork ribs, sides like slaw and baked beans, all which I'm looking forward to trying today. So I'm gonna go up and order my first plate, and I'll see you in a little bit when it's all ready and we'll get to eating. All right, everyone, so my first plate of food is here, and this is looking really good. Let me give you a view. So going right in on stuff I enjoy, barbecue beef rib, I had to try it right up front. Got beef brisket as well as a hot link, barbecue beans and slaw. Looking forward to some really good barbecue. Let's give this a try. First off, I'm going in on this massive beef rib. I mean, this beef rib is just enormous. Already falling off the bone from the weight. I asked for all the sauces on the side. I really wanted to test the quality of the barbecue first, so let's try this beef rib. Oh, that is very good. This is about as textbook as a beef rib should get. Very tender and soft meat here with a good beefy flavor. So juicy. They've retained a lot of moisture. It's very satisfying to eat. A very straightforward seasoning blend. Simple but generous. It's very good. This is a quality beef rib. Everything you want is checking out fine. Really nice start here to Rollin Smoke. I like that one a lot. Next up, the beef brisket. Looks like they have a chopped brisket here at Rollin Smoke. And just like that beef rib, I want to try it sauceless first. Here's the brisket. Yeah, it's pretty good. This is a solid brisket. Relatively tender, though not the softest I've ever had. And some portions were a tad on the dry side. I want to say half the bite was fairly rich, and then the other half was quite dry. Interesting dichotomy there. The flavor of beef is a little bit more muted here in the brisket than it was in the beef rib. The beef rib had much more of a robust flavor. That said, the chopped up brisket does have a nice mix of that bark all throughout, and it is well seasoned. This is definitely better than average, but not mind-blowing here. A fine brisket though. Next up, the hot link. The 3 meats I had on this plate are my favorite meats when I go to any barbecue place. And amongst my favorite trio, the hot link is what I find to be the most disappointing in most barbecue spots. Let's see how it is here at Rollin Smoke. You know, that's pretty good. Starting off with the texture, you got an excellent snap to the casing. You actually get that texture all throughout the bite. It is good. The sausage inside is quite meaty, although a bit on the grainy side. I think they might need to adjust a little bit of that meat to binding ratio. Excellent flavors though, it is really well seasoned, and there's an appropriate amount of cayenne pepper here providing a nice kick. Bit of a smoky flavor here as well. This is a good hot link. I'm glad the hot link was good, that was enjoyable. Now they have several barbecue sauces here at Rollin Smoke, but to kick things off, I just want to start with their base house sauce. I'm gonna pour it on top of the brisket. Now let's give this a taste. Oh, it's very good. The addition of the sauce really takes this brisket to the next level. A lot of really great flavors in that sauce. A little bit sweet, a nice peppery kick to it, and a lot of tang. There's actually a very high amount of vinegar in this sauce. It works really well with this brisket. I'm enjoying this a lot more than having it dry. A good house barbecue sauce here. Next up, barbecue beans. Definitely one of my favorite sides when I come to eat barbecue. They've got a pretty good looking barbecue bean here. Let's give it a shot. Hey, that's good. I'm finding myself enjoying this barbecue bean dish, though it's not without a few faults. Firstly, the beans themselves are a little underdone. They're kind of hard in the center. I would certainly prefer a little bit more of a softer bean here. That said, I really like the barbecue sauce that it's in. While it is slightly sweet, it's very savory and a bit of a smoky heat to it also. This is a well-seasoned side. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. If those beans were cooked down just a little bit more, I'd like this a lot. Okie dokie, last bite I'm trying from this first plate is going to be their Southwestern slaw. This is actually a really good looking slaw. I'm loving the amount of black pepper I see. Let's give it a try. Oh, that's really good. Excellent coleslaw dish here at Rollin Smoke. I think I like everything about this dish. Nice crisp from the fresh vegetables here. You absolutely get a little bit of that natural sweetness from the carrots, and there's corn here also providing additional sweetness. They're using something like a chipotle mayonnaise. It provides a nice smoky flavor, though it is quite light, not super heavy and rich. This is good. You can see the pepper and you can absolutely taste the pepper. A nice peppery kick to this one. This is my type of slaw. Really like the slaw here. I'm gonna get a lot of that. All right, everyone, so that's plate number 1. I'm gonna go ahead and finish all this up and we'll go for plate number 2. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Now, welcome back, everyone. It's Sunday here at around 11 a.m., and so there's not really much of a wait, so I was able to get my food super quick. Let me show you my next round. We got some barbecue pork ribs, as well as their pulled pork, pulled chicken, mac and cheese, and their cornbread. This is all looking really good. Let's give it a try. First off, the pork rib. Really nice looking baby back rib here. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's very good. Excellent pork rib here. Really tender, soft, very succulent pork meat. The fat has rendered perfectly. This is a great bite of pork. And again, a relatively simple seasoning blend here, and a relatively well-developed crust here, and a nice smoky flavor is permeated throughout the meat. This is a really good pork rib. I like that one a lot. Next up, this is the pulled chicken. Now, while they do have bone-in chicken, I thought the pulled chicken sounded a little more interesting. You can see a little bit of a seasoning blend on this. Here's the pulled chicken. Yeah, not bad. I'd say there's a pretty middle-of-the-road pulled chicken here. While it is a tender chicken, unfortunately it is a tad on the dry side. And while it is soft, it's a little bit chewy. It is well seasoned. You absolutely get the flavors of the chicken, as well as a very light, smoky heat from the seasoning blend. You would not classify this as spicy by any means, just a little bit of additional kick. I'd say a pretty average, middle-of-the-road pulled chicken there. Next up, pulled pork. I always enjoy a good pulled pork when it comes to any barbecue place. Let's see how it is here at Rollin Smoke. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of their pulled pork. Unfortunately, the pulled pork is quite dry today and very stringy in texture. While it's relatively soft, it is quite chewy. The texture here leaves a lot to be desired. The pork does taste okay, a relatively robust pork flavor coming through, but unfortunately when it comes to barbecue, you really want that meat to be ultra soft, really tender, and that is just not the case here today with the pulled pork. That's a bit unfortunate. I was really hoping for more on that one. Now, the good thing about barbecued meats is you can always provide a little bit of help with some sauce, and pulled pork typically goes well with a nice vinegar-based sauce, and so we'll apply that here. Let's see how this is. Definitely better. The tang from the vinegar and just the added moisture helps a lot with this particular pork. But that said, I wouldn't say this is my favorite Carolina-style vinegar sauce. It is incredibly thin. I really wish that the sauce was a bit thicker. It didn't adhere and coat that pork like I was hoping it would. There is a nice amount of spice in that sauce though. Some red pepper flake provides an additional heat, but given that the texture of the pork just leaves so much to be desired, I'm finding this to be just okay at best. I've definitely had better pulled pork as well as Carolina vinegar sauces. Since the sauce helped with the pork, we'll apply a little bit to the chicken here as well. This is their Sweet Mama barbecue sauce. The aroma alone, I could tell this is gonna be much more sweet than the house sauce. Let's see how it is. Yeah, it's pretty good. The barbecue sauce helped that chicken a lot. The additional sweetness and tang really enhances the flavor of the chicken here. Given that the chicken wasn't the perfect texture, although much better than the pork, the sauce does so much more here than it did for the pork. It is definitely a lot sweeter than that house barbecue sauce, but not in an overbearing way. In fact, with the super high tang levels of the original sauce, I can see this being a much more even baseline for some barbecue enthusiasts. I'm really glad this is helping this much with the chicken though. A nice sweet sauce here. We'll do some sides next. First up, the mac and cheese. A very typical side in a lot of barbecue spots. Let's see how it is here at Rollin Smoke. Oh wow, that's good. I'm really enjoying this macaroni and cheese. Now the noodles are far past al dente, much softer than I want them to be, but I don't think this particular issue can be helped. A lot of this mac and cheese has to be prepared beforehand. Now the texture of the noodles aside, I love this cheese sauce. A nicely sharp cheese flavor here, very savory and rich, with a little bit of a peppery kick also. And I find that to be a theme here at Rollin Smoke. They certainly like to add a little bit of additional pepper and kick to all of their dishes. A smoky, peppery macaroni and cheese is right up my alley. I really love flavors like this. I really like the cheese sauce here at Rollin Smoke. If that pasta was a little bit firmer, I would be singing about this one from the hilltops. All right, my friends, and the last bite I'm trying from this second plate is gonna be the cornbread. If you watch the channel enough, you know I'm a huge fan of cornbread. And this looks like a really classic preparation here. Here's the cornbread. Yeah, that's good. Great cornbread here. Excellent bake. You have a nice crisp to that exterior and a very dense and cakey center. This is a very rich cornbread. There's a lot of butter at play, but there's a nice balance of flavor. Me personally, I think I would add a smidge more sugar and reduce the butter by just a little, but this is pretty close to the optimal ratio for me. A very nice cornbread here. I like that a lot. All right, everyone. Now that's plate number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and we'll do another round. Don't worry, I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. It's time for my third round, and with my third round, I decided to go on a lot of their specialty dishes. I got an order of their smoked chicken wings, as well as their burnt end sliders, and their redneck nachos. This is all looking really good. Let's give it a try. First up, redneck nachos. Also known as a Fritos pie. We have a Frito chip-based nacho here, with brisket, cheese, and all the good fixins. Let's see how it is. Oh, you know, that's good. A nice little Frito pie nacho here. Fritos came right out of the bag, so they have a nice fresh crisp to them. And that trademark toasted corn flavor is absolutely making itself known in the bite. Now they're using the chopped up brisket in this nacho, topped with just a little bit of their original sauce. Now they're using the chopped up brisket here, and as mentioned before, it is quite tender, nice beefy flavor, and given that there's just so many moist elements in this dish, it is working well. You get a little earthiness from the beans here, although they're not the same barbecue beans that we had before, just a plain pinto bean. The nacho cheese sauce here is salty and rich, and you do get that nice cooling tang from the sour cream. I always love the bite that comes from green onions in a dish like this, and it's working well. A nice little redneck nacho, this is good. Next up, we're going in on the smoked chicken wing. 3 enormous wings here. I'm gonna dip it into some ranch. Let's see how this is. Yeah, that was tasty. Nicely smoked chicken wing. You get a nice flavor of the chicken, it's been well seasoned. And similar to the pulled chicken, there's a little bit of that smoky seasoning blend here. Main difference here is that they've also brushed it with their barbecue sauce. And the sweet, smoky flavors of that barbecue sauce certainly work well with the chicken. And I do appreciate that this is a smoked chicken. You actually do get a bit of that smoky flavor. And all of that is working well. A nice, soft and tender chicken meat. Not fried, but smoked, and you certainly get a little bit of a different quality. Less rich, a lot less oil at work here, so a lot more of the prevalent flavors of the chicken are coming through. This is very nice. The ranch dressing was creamy and cooling, and a little bit of that tang goes a long way here. A very nice chicken wing, I like that. Okie dokie, next up is the burnt end slider. I specifically held off on the burnt ends because I saw this was a part of the menu, although I am seeing that same Southwest slaw that we had earlier. Let's see how this is. Oh, that was very good. Excellent slider here. I really like this. This is untoasted, so you have a very soft bun here, though it is relatively light and airy and very neutral in flavor. It works as a nice vessel for the slider. That's just fine. The burnt ends here are so good. Perfectly rich and fatty, with a beautifully caramelized sauce on the exterior. Everything you want in a burnt end is here. A little bit smoky, super tender, and the extra nutty sweetness from that caramelized sauce is just so good here. I already mentioned before, but I love their Southwestern slaw, and it's balancing very well against the fatty nature of those burnt ends. This is a really tasty slider. I like this one a lot. All right, everyone, and the last bite that I'm trying today is going to be the side that came along with the sliders. This is the potato salad. A bacon-topped potato salad here. Looks really good. Hopefully it tastes good. Potato salad. Oh, that is very good. This is an excellent potato salad. The potatoes themselves are so soft. Perfectly boiled, wonderful texture. We're off to a great start. This is a very rich potato salad. The dressing is incredibly thick and creamy,
and wonderfully seasoned. Some dill, celery salt, paprika all find themselves in the mix. And with the additional smoky salinity from the bacon, this is a very flavorful potato salad. And like all the other sides here, there's a nice peppery kick in the aftertaste. This is very, very good. Huge fan of potato salad here at Rollin Smoke. All right, everyone, now that's all the food I'm trying today. I'm actually starting to get really full, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up, and then we'll do a little bit of dessert next. Don't go anywhere, because sweets are coming up. All right, welcome back, my friends. Now, I am supremely full. It's been a while since I've eaten this much in one sitting, so it's definitely time for some dessert. Let me show you what I got. I got their peach cobbler as well as their banana pudding, 2 classic barbecue restaurant desserts, and there's always a little bit of room for some sweets, right? Let's activate the dessert stomach and give this a try. First off, the banana pudding. Really good looking banana pudding here. I love the vanilla wafer on top. Let's see how this is. Oh, very good. I am really enjoying this banana pudding. Incredibly smooth, velvet-like, with a very sweet, robust banana flavor. Excellent banana pudding. An additional airy sweetness coming from that whipped cream, and your trademark toasty vanilla flavor coming from those Nilla wafers. They've actually crumbled up some additional Nilla wafers and added what's kind of like a sprinkling on top, giving some additional accent flavor when you don't have a full Nilla wafer on your spoon. It's working very well. There's also slices of real banana in this pudding, although when you bite into it, truth be told, you don't get an additional banana flavor. That's how robust the banana flavor in the pudding already is. This is very enjoyable. I'm finding it hard to stop. Nice banana pudding here. I like that a lot. All right, my friends, now the last bite I'm trying today is gonna be the peach cobbler. This is a piping hot peach cobbler, and a nice amount of whipped cream I see here. Here's the peach cobbler. That's pretty good. I'm finding myself enjoying this peach cobbler, though not as much as that banana pudding. We'll start with a good, excellent peach flavor, very in your face. You can really taste the peaches in this cobbler. Now that said, there's something very sour in this. I'm not sure if they added lemon or some kind of other acid, but there's some kind of a sour edge that does take away from the sweetness of the peaches. Now the pie portion of the cobbler was nice and spongy, soaking up a lot of this peach filling. I actually really like the cinnamon covered whipped cream here. That woodsy, airy sweetness actually adds a lot to the peach cobbler. It is very good. I think if they would tone down that sour note a bit, this would be a lot better. All right, everyone, now that's gonna do it for my lunch here at Rollin Smoke BBQ. I gotta say, for $50, this is a steal. All you can eat barbecue for an hour at this quality, you can really get away with a lot. I have to give it up, this is definitely one of the best barbecue beef ribs I've had. I can see why they would limit it to 2 bones. Incredibly beefy, it's really good. The pork ribs here were also really tasty. In general, I didn't think any of the barbecue was bad. I will say I really love those burnt end sliders. I think if I returned here, I would be going in on a ton of ribs and a handful of those burnt end sliders. The banana pudding was fantastic. I really enjoyed that as well. I also happen to be a huge fan of the series Pawn Stars, so if you are as well, I think this is actually a really cool visit for 50 bucks. All right, everyone, now that's gonna do it for this Tuesday video where I check out a much more local spot here in the Valley. Coming this Saturday, I'm gonna be returning to my quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip, as well as downtown on Fremont Street. Make sure you come back for that one. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great week, and I hope you enjoyed Vegas with me, Shin. Bye.